slides around. It's really good to see you, Peter, so thank you. And if we've got any guests tonight, you're very, very welcome. Obviously, you pay slightly more than the members, so to get cheaper next time and become a member, it's only £5, isn't it? So you're very welcome too. Okay, so let's, I've got to control myself, right? No. So I haven't done this since, what am I supposed to be pressing? It's so long.
It worked a second ago.
What did you do?
Well, all I did was...
That's what I was doing. Here we go. So what's been happening? We did have an AGM. We keep it all legal. The AGM was on Zoom, of course, but we also did make our paperwork available to people that wanted it. And the most important thing about the AGM, of course, is money. And it was a very tough year last year, obviously, because we didn't meet and you didn't pay your money as members, as visitors here, but we survived, we did well. So this is a more normal year, we hope. Right, we did have Zoom meetings all through the season, and every time we had 40, it should be 40 PCs there, which means lots of people were doubled up, so we really had good attendance. So it's food for thought. And the wonderful thing about it was, they weren't all cheap. We had people from Canada, Australia, Cheshire, even people in this country who can't get here. So that was a wonderful innovation. That's why I'm hoping that we're on Zoom tonight, but we shall see. Okay. And we kept the committee meetings going as well to keep us started. And again, that was by Zoom. So if you haven't heard about Zoom, you're probably sick to death of it. But it really has been a lifesaver as Zoom. We wouldn't be where we are tonight without Zoom. And we did produce the 30th anniversary edition of the bulletin, which Sam was talking about a minute ago, excuse me. This is it, beautifully produced by Rick. And we hope that you will buy some of those tonight. We've lost that income this year. We need to recoup it. And we have also the Bulletin 29, which is there to be bought, the Woodard Award, and also shortlisted for the County Gerard Award was Carl Freeman, Jim Freeman's son, who wrote about Tewkesbury mustard. And so you can buy those tonight, one at £8, one at £7. Please do, we need your income. And the Woodard database is always online, lockdown or no lockdown, we continue to update it. So it's all there. So we have not been idle. And of course, we always are begging for new committee members. And we've got some, this is wonderful. We have the most delightfully named Malachi Cornwall Kelly. Would you like to stand up, Malachi? There he is, they're good, okay. You must ask him about the origins of his name, because I'm sure it's fascinating. Also, I always find email addresses very interesting, and Mozart has crept into that. So there's all sorts of questions you can ask Malachi, but you're very welcome, Malachi, and thank you very much. We have two joint treasurers. I've only got one tonight, which is Hannah. Now, Hannah is very important to me because 30 years ago, we only started the society because we had a little local history group at school, and we were asked to do a project by Brian Linnell, and she was one of my first pupils. And we stayed in touch all these years, and now she's a joint treasurer. Now, I don't know what she's done with Graham, her oppo, but he's not with us tonight, but no doubt he'll show up. So so thank you very much, Hannah. And you brought our average age down tremendously, which is wonderful. Continuing people, Sam Eel, you've met at the back there. Rick Talbot, he's also up there. He's our bulletin designer. Janet Benson, you all know well, who's standing at the back. He's our membership secretary and webmaster. And Andrew Talbot, he doesn't exist. I'm getting on now. Andrew Stewart, he should be on Zoom recording this. He's also our assistant web designer as well. Sorry, Andrew Stewart, if you're there, I do apologise. And of course, we've got our new ladies doing the refreshments, which is very important. I was asked by a lady, she rang me up wanted to know about tonight, and she said, if you're over 60, do you get a discount? So I said, well, I'm sorry, we're all over 60. No, but you do get free tea and coffee. And we're trying to keep you, the whole emphasis tonight is be normal, but keep separate as much as you can. And so when you leave here for your coffee, what we'll ask you to do, if you don't want coffee or tea, I don't know why, because it's free, go out that door, please, disappear that way. Don't go that way. If you want to stay for refreshments, then we'll invite you to go out row by row. And if you go out the left-hand side, go clockwise around the table, get what you need, and have your refreshments in here. There will be 2 sacks put out for all your detritus. We don't want anything left for the Methodist Church. And also, of course, with Sue and Andrew's supposed to be helping tonight. Oh, we got Jane back. We weren't sure. So Sue Coggin is selling bulletins for us, and Jane's back doing the same, which is absolutely wonderful. Nice to see you. And but Andrew will be in the background there looking after things. So please spend money at the break. Don't crowd here. We've got sanitizer for you. Okay. And we do have this very pretentiously named Anchor University, which meets monthly at the Anchor pub. And we're a group of local history people. And what we do is I do a talk, and then we have a discussion, and then Loz, the wonderful Loz, the landlady of the Anchor, she gives us her only free buffet that she does, which is really wonderful. And this next one is very important because I hope you realise it's the 50th anniversary of Bill Shakespeare being killed, trying to set yet another water speed record. And what we want is, I will do a presentation, but I want people who worked with Bill to come along with mementos and memories and photographs. So that is the 5th of October. Living with COVID. Okay, well, I've told you, still keep your distance when you come for your refreshments and your bulletins. Hello, what's happening? That's it. Right, I think we'll go to the next presentation now, if that's okay. Oh, here he is, our speaker, James Bosk. I don't want to talk about James just yet. Because I want you to go straight in.
That's fine.
But as I've made a mistake, let's introduce James now. Now, James is one of the Boskett brothers, obvious. You all know the Boskett brothers, I'm sure. I wanted to apologise to James because he's the last of the brothers to come and address us, which is no disrespect, but it was only when I went to a special display at the tourist office, I went and saw these most wonderful photographs. And I had to say, who has taken those photographs? We must have him. Well, 3 years later, he's here. But it's absolutely wonderful. And there must be a photographic gene in the Bosketts somewhere. So you know about Jack, but he's good, as you'll agree later. Yeah, so I'll say a bit more about you when we start,
That's
okay?
fine.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm going to say it now. Here he is. He's better known because, of course, he is one of these wonderful leaders of our Boys Brigade. And every year, I think, there's a presentation made to the best turned out group, and it usually is the Boys Brigade, if it's not the Sea Cadets. But the Boys Brigade are absolutely wonderful. You run the junior branch, don't you?
Yeah, the Anchor boys with the red jumpers.
The ones in the red jumpers. Yeah. That's absolutely. I think when we look at the Tewkesbury Register over the years, look at the 19th and 20th century, you see all these people who did voluntary work in the town, and you only realise they did it after a full day's work. They all had proper jobs in the daytime, not just 5 days a week or 6 days a week. And you do a proper job, don't you?
Indeed.
And it's wonderful that all these adults managed to do this wonderful work with these children. So that's how I first knew James, and then I got to know him as a photographer. Hello.
Not one of mine.
That's not one of his, no. Have I ended mine? Right, so a bit more serious now, if I may, Jan. James knows about this, that we haven't met for so long, as you know. First of all, it was the loss of our wonderful secretary, Janet, in December 2019. And then we were going to bid her a formal farewell in February. We had floods. I was going to do it in March, and we had, of course, COVID. And so I'd never been able to give this tribute to the wonderful, which is Janet Benson, as you see there. Got some nice photographs for you, because she was very photogenic, as you will see. And as we go through, I love that determined look. I remember that look on her face occasionally. Very determined there. Lovely. She's from Cheltenham, by the way. And she and Derek are very keen on finding out about her Chartist ancestors. So it's something you've got a Chartist called Tovey. And every year they used to disappear to the Newport convention every year, which kept the name of the Chartists alive. The Chartists, of course, were Methodists to a great extent as well. They fought for the right to, sorry, they didn't fight. They worked for the right to vote legally. So Janet was very keen on that. She's Miss Tovey in the background. The other thing about Janet, which I came to learn later, was how fascinated she is about aircraft. And that's because her father used to take her and her brother to Staverton Airport regularly to see the planes there. And she's kept these interests, as you'll see in a minute, into her later life. And her brother, I still think, is he a pilot now, is he, Derek? Sorry? Oh, he's retired, is he? A retired pilot then. So they've kept this going through the family, which is wonderful. Yeah, again, she's into the photography movie. That's a lovely photograph. Absolutely lovely. And a bit of fun photographs there. 1974, 76, yeah. And there you see, I always called it Janet's career jigsaw. I could never quite work it out, because I did hear that she was an air stewardess, which is quite prestigious, isn't it? And there she is in her Britannia Airways gear there. And on the right there, she's more of a student. She went from Cheltenham's Arles School. She went to University of East Anglia to do a BA there before her career took off. She also worked at GCHQ. And as you'll see, this interest in spies and that sort of thing lived with her. And in fact, our next speaker in the next month in October will be devoted to her, because she was fascinated by spies. Although I don't think she was one. Hello, what's going on now? Can you move me forwards one? There we go. And that's this career jigsaw, you see, which I think I've just about put together. We knew her very, very much as Janet of Tewkesbury Borough Council. And when she had a funeral at the Abbey, it was packed out with members of the staff from Tewkesbury Borough Council. And you could tell there how very well respected she was there. And she was particularly keen on her apprenticeship scheme, whereby they took children that weren't going to university, but they trained them up in local government. And then they could sort of blossom that way. And that was very much her big thing. So Shane Graham's not here tonight, our other treasurer, because he also came up through the local authority. And he's the only person I know who's got a good word to say for Ken Smale, because he was trained by Ken Smale. She was very, very keen on making sure there was fair play, correct procedure. She even applied that to Tewkesbury Historical Society. She became in charge of our these modern things we have to do to keep up to date. She was a secretary 3 times for us during those years, and also she found time to do the refreshments. And it was always, Janet was always especially humorous when she was on looking after refreshment. You saw another side to Janet's character there, but a lovely photograph. And there she is as our secretary. You can see a meeting we had in 2016, that lovely smile there. And Kate joined in as well at the front there, which is a really, really very nice evening that was. Yeah. And so, oh dear, dear, dear. We get these photographs here. The one I've shown you of Janet in 2006, absolutely lovely. We did learn at the funeral by the oration their friends did, how much she loved shopping and shopping for clothes. And you knew that by Janet because she always looked absolutely amazing, as you can see in 2005 there. And the word that came out at the funeral was elegance and beauty, and absolutely true. At that date, September 2019, Derek and Janet got married at Course Lawn. What did I put? Oh, gosh. I'm getting past it. Oh, yes, I am, aren't I? Getting past it. Sorry, Derek, I do apologise. Yeah, Mrs. Benson. God, dear me. Yeah. And of course, then the story then moves on very sadly. At Christmas 2019, Janet found herself at Ryder Hospice at Lake Hampton. And we do tonight, would invite you to leave a donation, if you can, in the collection tin at the back. For the sake of Sue Ryder, they really do look after people in those last crucial days. And I think she spoke very highly of Sue Ryder. You can also do your donation online if you like. It's in your invitation. So there, let's make something good come out of this. And lastly, yes, in Bulletin 2019, I've written her official obituary there. Well, there'll be no mistakes in that, I assure you, because it's been checked. And so we invite you, if you would like a written record of Janet's life, it's in there. So thank you, Derek, for bringing the photographs tonight. Do have a look at the end. And thanks for everything, Derek. Right, next meeting in memory of Janet, because she loved these spies. It's Bob Skelter we had before. He's been waiting 3 years as well to do this talk. A torment of traitors in the Cold War. So we're bringing spying right up to date into our lives. Yeah. So that's Trafalgar Day on the 21st of October.